What a next? Isn't that funny? And then he'll take his finger and pull it out of the mouth. He won't eat the meat.
Get some grape soup. Probably get more.
I can see me. It's not like
The restaurants and do you know what the restaurants are?
Without this door.
Okay, like that towards that. Okay.
That quick break. It's 2 doors.
You not get nothing?
Okay. I'm money on it. Okay. I don't know if that's get 4 pounds.
I thought somebody was calling. Somebody got the same kind of heat.
I guess it's go to Mandarin too.
I'll get you waiting on you. But never come stand with
I like the remix that you got going on over there. I was looking to play with him like, that song sounds familiar.
I got kindergarten school. We gotta watch what play. Because for some reason I play like instrumental hip hop and you can hear the song. Okay, so the girl be like, take me through there, take me through there, and like they're supposed to be doing the work, and all I hear is take me through there, take me. I said absolutely not. No, we are not taking us through anywhere. Do your work. I just get so hard.
He was like, he was fine. I gotta go put the shoes
Well, you gotta be careful what you set your phone to, because even if I leave the school, I try to play some YouTube videos, and it'll say this content is restricted.
Oh wow.
Does it ever do that to y'all?
There you go. Yeah.
That's not what something's going on. I just keep doing it. It's like, this is restricted. The video is unavailable. I was like, seriously? I'm like 30 miles from the school.
Right.
And yesterday I was 2 hours from the school and it still did. I was like, seriously? What the heck, man? We don't go to school on a Sunday.
Right.
It's like insanity, man.
My mama was a crazy one. I might do they take care of the You know, no, it's but he loved it. He did. Wow. It's just One thing makes me art, so you see it, but when you make, but all the way,
Drink that, pitch that thing. He randomly say 10:30. He didn't want to go to sleep. So he gonna put some shades on and looking at me and Mark doing like this dance.
What's he doing? Yeah, he was self-contained 3 years ago. Like, you know, like Miss Class or something like that. And I think they mainstream York is good for him. So yeah, he's kind of behind. I know. That's gonna be one I'm probably gonna start getting her and I.
Over there, literally.
Yeah, because he, you know, you remember his bro.
I
went over there. Oh, that's right, you won. Oh, that's right, my bad.
I had a lot. It's not like that.
His brother's a good tall guy. And then get stuff. Yeah, I tried to work on him with his writing last year. He made a little bit of progress. When he came in, he was reading at kindergarten. So, I had a pre-K. But, the other EC teacher we had was doing the guided reading last year.
Yeah, we going over there. They know he's about 7 years ago.
He does not ask for help. Start cutting up or something, or start. It's about as nosy as they come.
That's not funny.
Don't feel bad, you're not the only one. You're the only one.
Here, you need the bread. That's the bread. Don't you throw it, neither.
That makes you throw.
Don't throw it. Watch.
I wish he didn't get distracted. It's like he won't stay focused long enough.
You were looking at me, that's what it was.
I pulled him to my class.
I get you out of there.
And it's like he'll get distracted even when I pull him by himself. It's like, what? Yeah, it's like if you start talking about something else or whatever.
No, I'm telling you.
He'll ask maybe that.
It's gonna be bad. You ain't gotta hold it.
And the thing is, sometimes he'll ask to spend my class and he'll come around and ask to I'm like, why'd you have to spend my class?
All day.
Yep. How's Mr. Tillery doing? Here's another one that I had to work with on reading last year. Smart, you know. He tried. He does try.
Both sides,
Jasmine. She's another one that's she does try to. Her works hard. The meaning for what? I'm not sure I understand. What are you saying? I'm sorry. Oh, who's leading? I'm sorry. It's like it's one of these shirts? Sign up, man. Sign up as a member. I'll get you one. You're good. Like you, I keep my word, man. How was your day today, man? 'Cause my day was long. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Bentley started as an EC teacher.
They not coming.
Sorry? I did the regular class in my first year as a teacher. I definitely like what I'm doing better. Overall.
Boy.
A lot of paperwork. Yes, it is. It seems like they get us to do more stuff every year, and they don't want to pay us. That's why it's important NCAE like me. I still can't believe they make TAs drive buses. They can drive buses. They don't give them a choice. No. Yeah. Isn't that great? Gravy out some of the looks like it's true.
You know he gonna get his speech in. So y'all might as well get ready, because he gonna tell y'all something. Class board meeting, they said all in favor say aye. Let's just say aye.
On the South Carolina border.
He gonna
They
say
had a fire
aye.
at a Purdue plant. They had, this is how restrictive it was in terms of the way they were for workers. They actually changed it. Isn't that crazy? I just heard about this yesterday. I was like, what? Yeah. That's unbelievable. That's what against the workers, man. Yeah. I have no idea. I've only been down to Richmond County. It's exactly like Edgecote. Almost identical. Same size.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, the biggest city is Rocky. It's about 15,000 people. Right next to it. The Great Peony River goes through there. And their water is I don't know if the water here is, but I know the water in Halifax
look at Friday, 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot Foreman had that thing. Like a meeting or something. She was telling me that she wasn't sure if it was today or when it was.
No. I put this stuff
I'm ready to tomorrow.
Yeah, she was gonna get the add it on.
Yeah, it was just today. And that insult and injury. I spilled cabbage on my pants. Got any idea how to get grease out? Got any idea how to get grease out if you wash clothes? You let down. Stab or something? So I don't got to throw this away. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I got a brand new paint shirt last year. Really nice shirt. It was expensive. And the first day I had it, I was sick. So I went to Taco Bell. All over. Like one of those drills and yeah, I was like, yeah, it's like on the front. I wore it to school one day and what'd you do? You enjoy your food? Yeah,
Hello, ECAE, 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 Union!
yeah, Union.
Yes. Good afternoon. I am Cleta. I am staff, and I am one of your organizers. And I'm going to get this party started because we have so much to cover. And we want to make sure that we are out on time so we can caravan right over there to that school board meeting, okay? We're going to begin it with a very familiar Union song. I say something, and y'all repeat after me. Solid as a rock, solid as a rock, rooted as a tree.
We are here. Strong.
Play solid as a rock, rooted as a tree.
We are here. Stand tall. My rock. Am I right? One more time.
Solid as a rock.
Hey, solid as a rock.
Rooted as a tree.
Rooted as a tree.
We are here.
We are here.
We are here.
We are here. We are here. Stand strong. Stand strong.
My rightful place.
In my rightful place.
My rightful place.
In my rightful place.
In my rightful place.
In my rightful place.
Yeah.
Give it up for Miss Cleta. Thank you, Miss Cleta. I appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. I am Marcia Moy Williams, and I currently serve as your ECAE president. I'm shifting because my little man sleeping. He's gonna want to come up with me. Again, tonight I wanted to welcome everybody. Thank you so much for turning these words into actions, because that's what we're here for. We're here to continue the fight. We're here for our voices and to have a seat at the table, the one that we rightly deserve, right? And although we work in this district that refuses to give us that,
That's right.
right? We deserve it. And so that's why we are here. We are standing solid. We are strong, and we are unmovable.
That's right.
We're not going nowhere. Right? We're going to stand, and we're going to fight. All right. That's the energy that we need. That's the energy that is going to take us and get us the things that we're demanding. I want to welcome everybody to our November mass meeting. And here's what we'll be covering tonight. We're going to be getting some updates from across the state, what's happening, updates from right here at home, what's working, what's going on with our Meet and Confer campaign, where we go next, and what do you all think we should go next. We're going to also talk about some campaign plans that can also push us towards that Meet and Confer. We're going to talk about our next action steps, which tonight is one big one, because there is a board meeting, and I am going to show up. I've been showing up at every single board meeting. They give me my 2.5, 3 minutes every month, and I'm going to stand in front of them and keep talking. So hopefully you all can join me right after we leave right here.
We're going.
And go over there, because I'm not by myself. We got some other friends.
We got your back.
Some other workers.
We got your back. We got your back.
And that's what we need to be behind that.
We got your back. We got your back.
That's it. That's what we have to do.
That's
right. We have to show the district it's not just her. It's not about her. When I stand up and talk about pay, I'm not talking about my pay. I'm talking about the pay for the individual who got to work 2 and 3 jobs just to have a place to stay, not to go on vacation. So that's what we're talking about. All right? Amen. That's right. Amen. Y'all ain't got to root for me. My baby's going to always root for me. Right? First, let's talk about what's happening around the state. So you all know we have been working for this Meet and Confer, and in Durham, they held their first Meet and Confer session on October the 16th. So we know it's possible, right?
That's right.
Durham educators focused their priorities on classified pay and protecting immigrant students and families from ICE and bullying. The Durham team did win some commitments from their school leadership, but the district admin was unwilling to commit to a number of others. The fight for a voice and seeing real change continues, and we continue to support our union siblings in Durham. When we were running our majority campaign last year, those folks took a day off, came down here, canvassed with us, and worked with us to help us get members. They support us. They show up for our meetings sometimes. They show up when they can, and we're trying to do the same for them, to show up for them. A little bit further west, Asheville.
Yeah.
Asheville union members held their first Meet and Confer in October. And by the way, these are the first 2 in the state of North Carolina to have a Meet and Confer. Because for those of you, I don't know if you know this or not, but in the state of North Carolina, there is a law that says we cannot negotiate our salary. The state determines that, right? But what we can do is gain a Meet and Confer and meet with the district and talk about what we feel that we deserve. So when they start making that budget, we can have a seat at the table to put our voices in that. And so that's why Meet and Confer is so important. And so in Asheville, union members, when they held their first Meet and Confer in October, they focused on inclement weather. We all know last year, Hurricane Helen happened out in Asheville. All the classified workers, did not receive pay during that time, because what happens with inclement weather? Yeah. Classified staff don't get paid. So you think about how long these folks were out of work, and they didn't receive any type of pay. So Asheville's working on ensuring classified staff had opportunities to get paid on these days. Telework expansion to include classified staff training. So those days when we have PD days, and there's no PD for classified, they don't get paid, they're working towards that. And then right to union representation, helping access to schools, something we are familiar with right here in Edgecombe. I don't know if y'all noticed, but this year they decided that NCAE could not come into the schools as openly as they did last year. Why? Because we reached majority, and they realized that folks want a voice. We're going to have a voice and want to keep talking. But you can keep me out of your school, but you can't shut my voice. That's right. Right? So I will show up where you are and use my voice. And that's what we're doing. So what's happening here at home? What's happening here with Edgecombe campaigns? Last year, we made history. We made history because Edgecombe became the first rural district in the state of North Carolina to reach majority. Again, the first. We proved that rural districts are not powerless, right? And not only, like I said, that was a trailblazing moment for us, because there are so many other rural districts now. Like, hey, if Edgecombe can do it, we can do it, right? The timeline on our Meet and Confer campaign from June the 2nd rally until October mass meeting, what happened then? So we did have that, many of you joined us for that rally, where we went to the county commissioners and we were asking, the superintendent asked for additional pay for us. The county commissioners shut it down, said, no, we're giving you absolutely nothing, but it's okay, we'll be back, right? A no is not, for me, you're just not the right person supposed to be talking to. That's right. And so with that, so what happened after that, we ended up saying, okay, well, look, we need to have a seat at the table when conversations are being made about our salaries. So how can we get a seat at the table? That's where the Meet and Confer comes in. The Meet and Confer, we're asking the district, the board, to create a policy that says the district will create a team, and they will take their team, and they will meet with our team. We create a team of individuals, and we discuss things such as working conditions, such as salaries, such as the budget, right? Because we need to have our voices heard, because people are making decisions about our day-to-day move without us, right? And so at the end of last year in May, there's 7 board members. In order to pass it, we need 4 to agree to approve it. At the end of May, we had 4 members we had spoken with and agreed and said, once it comes before the board, we will pass it. We will do it. We believe it's something we need. We will do this. Well, there's a board chair, a policy chairperson on the board. We met with them, discussed with them, and they said, okay, we're going to get everything through our attorney, and then we're going to present it to the board. So over the summer, they kind of tuned us out. We didn't hear from them. Come August, when we come back, we learned that this same said board member decided that they were going to create their own policy, and some of you may have heard of it and may even be a part of it. Last year, the superintendent ran a teacher advisory board. Where they came out this year, they want to run a policy where they will have a classified advisory board, a teacher advisory board. There's another one. There's like 4 or 5 different boards the superintendent would meet with. Great, you're going to meet with folks. But the only downside, they were going to choose who he meets with.
And that's their way of getting around putting somebody on the board.
They're going to choose who represents us. Now, for the Meet and Confer, we already said the only way we would have a Meet and Confer and agree to it if we have the majority +1. So we're not just coming with a group of us who feel like we need to have a seat and sit and talk to the superintendent. We have the majority of your staff on board, and that's who we're representing. They said, oh, no, we're going to create a policy where the superintendent or the principals can choose who comes, who sits, who meets. Absolutely not. That's not my voice.
Right.
I need someone sitting at the table that represents me. The classified staff is all custodians, the head custodians. Nothing wrong with custodians meet with the superintendent. So good job. Appreciate that. But there's more to classified staff than the custodian. Right? We need representation across all boards. And that's why we were pushing for a Meet and Confer. Once we got, and by the way, they never said that to us. That's what they were doing. We got wind of it when they were getting ready to have a second read. Meaning they had read it at one board meeting, and they were about to read it again to pass it. Yep. But let me tell you about the power of membership and the power of unity. Once we heard that, I think we had 2.5 weeks before the board meeting was coming up, and they were going to pass this. We sent letters, we sent emails, we got folks to call in, and we said absolutely not. We don't agree with it. We don't want anything to do with that. That's not our boys. And so we were hoping that they would delay it to the next meeting to give us an opportunity to come up with a game plan. But because of the work that was put in those 2.5 weeks, not only did they not vote on it, they took it off their agenda completely. And they have not put it back up there. So this whole policy thing that they were trying to push and slide up under the door, they have not. Right? And why is that important? We need to make sure that folks aren't dictating who speaks for us. We need to have a seat at that table. We need to be able to elect a group of individuals for representation to say, this is who's going to represent us at this table. We need to have open meetings to where we may have a group sitting there representing us, but we have everybody behind us speaking on behalf of that, not dictating. You create the agenda and you tell us what we're going to talk about. The superintendent does invite us in to his teacher advisory council. He did invite me in last year, and it was a sitting gig. He created that agenda, right? You remember,
Yep.
Right?
And he got real tired of hearing
He
my
got
voice.
really tired.
He got really tired.
Really tired. But I was so glad that we had somebody in the inside.
Well, and I got to be like, my thing is, he heard from me less than he should have because I'm balanced and AmeriCorps.
And
I'm
like,
I'm not technically allowed to do NCAE during
right,
contract
the
hours.
contract hours. But the thing of it is that even in those settings, he would come up with the agenda and bring the agenda, right? With the meet and confer, we want to be able to do that agenda, right? And so where are we now, right? And what's next? Our October mass meeting, we actually invited our board members. We had an open October meeting, and we sent letters out to the superintendent, letters out to the board members. We're having our mass meeting. We want you to come in, right? So you can hear from us. You can see and know what's happening with us, and we want you to join us for this, right? And we had 2 board members. The board chair showed up, and another board member. We had 2 board members that reached out and said they were out of town, they could not attend. And then we also, Dr. Bryant showed up. He showed up. So, which was a really good thing, because again, we're not trying to take away power from anybody. We want to build relationships so that we can have the conversations about things that are affecting us every day. Right? Which was a really good thing, because we had the opportunity to express why we needed a meet and confer policy versus the board policy, versus the policy that this one individual on the board was trying to push through. And the person who created that policy is the policy chairperson. So they had everything for our meet and confer. And I even spoke to that individual. Her name is Ms. Ann Kent. And when I spoke to Ms. Ann Kent about it and the issues we had with it, her exact words to me were, well, yeah, I looked at y'all policy, but I was just trying to make something that I felt would work for everyone. I said, for who? Who is everyone? Right? Because and that's the disconnect, and that's why we need a seat at the table. Because things as simply as who you see and what we see are different. If we're at the same table and we're having this conversation, we can talk about that and hash that out immediately. It would have never came up to that. And I will admit, she was one of the ones who said, well, we don't have to vote on that at the next meeting. You're absolutely right, you don't have to. So I need to make sure that we don't. Because that's not representation of us, and we don't agree with that.
Is that also a matter of who they can influence?
It is. It is a matter of who they can influence.
If you look at who makes up, like right now, even the teacher advisory council, that's made up of your teacher of the year and your VT of the year.
Yes. So and that was, they try to be slick. One board meeting I go in, and we mentioned that about it's made up of teachers, and you know what they said? Well, yeah, they're elected by their peers. Our BT won because she was the only BT in the building.
Right.
Now she's great, and I know she would represent me. Right. But she won because she was the only BT. She wasn't elected. And if you look at the elections, you get 2 votes here, 2 votes there. You won. You win, you get 3 votes, you won. Especially if everybody don't vote. So that's not a representation, right? And that's why, and so when I brought these things to their attention, these are the types of things that we can discuss at a meeting for sure, right? These are the types of things we can sit at a table and we can talk about, and I can help you make sense of why that's not right and why that's not going to work. What's next? What's next for us? Oh, October 13th Board of Ed meeting. We did give public comments. I told y'all I've been showing up at every single board meeting since then. I call them, I talk to them, I send them emails constantly. I have board members who call me to check in and to tell me things. So we're building these relationships because that's what it's going to take, right? And like I told the board, Meet and Confer takes nothing from the Board of Education. It's just the Board of Education creating a policy that says the district has to meet with us before they make decisions for us, right? Next steps, right? Oh, wait a minute, I'm skipping over. Am I skipping over? I done skipped over everybody's part. Hey, sometimes leaving us out. Let me stop. My bad. All right, current members. And what we need, I told y'all last year, we were the first one to get to majority, right? The first rule to get to majority, we needed 500, and we hit 501 in May. And when I say it was down to the wire, we had like, and this is the thing, because cutoff on membership stopped in May because they don't take out dues in the summer. So we had a hard deadline, like a Saturday, and this is like a Wednesday, and we're like, wait a minute, we still need like 20 members before we could get to this, and we knew we could get to this. And we literally had folks going out, knocking on doors, 6 and 7 o'clock at night, asking folks to join and why we needed them, right? And when it came in that, oh, I got 3, oh, I got 2, oh, I got, and we started adding the numbers, we was like, wait, we passed what we needed for a majority. But folks realized, folks are tired. When I first came into this district, all I heard was, that's just how they do things here. Mm-hmm. That is no longer the case. Yeah. We have a voice, we're going to use that voice, and we're not backing down. At this point, I apologize so much, and take those steps.
Why you can't say it like that?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I mean, there has been some energy in this room this evening.
Yes, yes.
Miss Plate over there doing her little thing. Yeah, I said, listen to all that noise. All right. And what's the little lady that was at the end of the call? This over here. Broke us in this school building like nobody else's business. She's going to have to get a microphone. I'm talking about you, ma'am. You're going to have to get a microphone and come to the front and talk to them about NCAE one day soon. I don't know who you are, but they need to know who you are.
That's right.
Folks, I am James Barnes. I am 61 years of age, and I'm looking forward to retirement soon. No, you're not. But prior to my leaving, there's still much work to be done. As Mrs. Where'd she go? Had much to say about how much we overcame in the last year. We reached that 501 number, and it was absolutely phenomenal. But then what happened? We had a summer break, and we broke. And when we broke, they went to work. And when they went to work, we fell further and further behind. We had an opportunity, as they said, to meet with Dr. Bryan and a couple of members of the board, and they were receptive to what we had to say. But them being receptive does not give us what we are entitled to. That's a seat at the table, sharing our opinions, our concerns with them. So while I'm up here, in addition to telling you what we've already done is, we've already looked at reorganizing our building. Getting people who may not be involved. Getting people who are tired to become rejuvenated, like this thing right here, and putting them to work. Because there is work and it has to be completed. And we have to do it in part because of young people like that right there. These young children are going to come into our school building in just a little while, and they need to have someone there who is concerned about their well-being and their education. So that's why I'm here. What I'm up here to do is to ask you in your table, based on what you've seen, based on what you've experienced in other places, what do you think at your table, the question asked you at your table, what do you think might be a good next step for us to consider moving forward? We don't have all the answers because everybody knows something. Share your ideas with each other and then get ready to share them out with others. How do we get to majority? What do we need to be doing to get our voices heard? How do we get that seat at the table? Please, talk to each other.
What would you? If you want somebody to drive,
First grade? Anything.
Yeah, so but they never said their idea, but in the meantime, it was.
I don't know how my dad said
The bus is. Or the bus ride.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
what like they put
Jimmy's thinking about like passing
And even when.
actually not just me, but you food day.
You need to have.
It was a truck. It was kind of you feel like
trying to get
Those are the only jobs that work for bus drivers.
just coming
I know. Like, why not? And so, you know, I think some money just was to let them be on. Okay, you know, so I'm just saying, I don't know how that. I don't have nobody here.
I'm actually because I know the storm.
My mom's
City work.
so bad. I never think that part.
That's actually more too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know that's some people that
Okay, all right.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
He said protest, he'll play it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I am, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Oh, ladies, thank you so much. I too, I got, look, they don't tap me on the shoulder because it's time. What else can I do? I want to keep us on time because, one, I value your opinion, whatever they may be. But because I'm interested in what you're speaking of. Mr. Marquis, I believe, here it says you and I.
Oh, Lord. Well, I took your part.
Oh,
so I
okay,
figured-
no. That doesn't negate you from being up here at the front. The group will share out with the room what was discussed and shared on sticky notes by a table. So if you would, what have you got?
What you guys talking about?
What were you all having a conversation with our teacher?
The conversation that we feel like our members themselves are not as enthusiastic or feeling as encouraged as they once were when we first started. And that they're not attending our meetings. Like we look around here, we don't have as many as we want.
You don't see 430 members, do you?
So I'm saying we gotta do something to get our base, everybody in their jobs, everybody, like I had a teacher say to me, you know, it's the same thing, nothing's happening.
Okay.
And, I had a police officer ask me why was I even doing it. He said, you know, I never told you because they got you more money, that's what they asked me for. They got you more money. I said, well, not yet, but I'm hoping. So I kind of thought, and we were kind of talking that if I could like do like a bulletin. So when we have these meetings, like the things that we just talked about, the things that are going on, things like the competition of the board members and something, that we have like a bulletin or a newsletter that's updated. Like this, what happened in the meeting, for us to give our members, you know, members have a bulletin so they know what's going on in the village, and they can get them more engaged, more excited with what's going on, so they might be more motivated to come out and, take part and do more, and see that there are things happening, that they're missing these conversations and it's taking part in things. And, you know, that's kind of what we're talking about.
We're gonna hold on to that. We're talking about energizing the membership. This table, please. What was our conversation? Do I share? Or you all share? But we're talking this table, we're talking about the classified staff, and what I heard from one member here is that she drove a school bus and had no problem driving the school bus because it was she still drives, and she does not have a problem with driving the school bus because it was a part of her contract. Which means what I thought was just a little bit was because if we're fighting to get somebody who's driving a school bus off a school bus who wants to drive a school bus, then we're not speaking for you.
Exactly.
So you see, that's why I wanted her, why I was after your opinion.
Right.
Because that's valuable to me. Okay?
Exactly.
So not everybody who's on the school bus does not want to be on the school bus. So we need to be careful in how we approach that conversation.
Yeah, she said that clone, they stating that they must drive, should not say must drive, should say if you would like to drive or something.
And that's what we're looking at.
They really should be separate. Like I said, it should be taken out. It's gonna come to that, because a lot of people apply for these jobs and they see it, but then once they go out and go through the training and get all that, then all of a sudden it's like, I don't wanna do this. But then you at the point where you may lose your job because you are refusing. So if you see that in the application, you need to stop right there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you need to stop right there. If you see that this says must be willing and able to drive, and you know you don't want to do it, I feel like you need to just stop the application process, not even try.
And yeah, quick question, how many of you have positions, TA positions that's open in your building right now? If you have a TA position that's open, and it could be for EC or whatever. So I know we have a position that's been open for going on 3 years, and we've interviewed the IA instructional assistant. We've interviewed, but every time we get to that line, you must drive a bus. We don't hear from them.
Yeah, so again, that's where the option should be in place, because you losing out on valuable resources, wonderful workers, just because you're telling them to do more road at this price. And my thing was, when I started in 1996, that was a clause in the condition at that time, and I flat out refused. Because I said, I know me and I know my teammates, try on that bus out, see what they want to. They might get to their real house, or they might get that first house I stop at. But you got to go. Right. So because I knew that about myself, no, right. I could not, do buses. Mm-mm.
Even as a teacher, the moment you told me, if you tell me I have to drive a bus here, I'm going to a different district.
That right there.
And I don't want to go to a different district because I finally found one that feels like home.
I got to get around the group.
I hear what others are saying about driving the school bus. I know of the individual was in and has been in a different position and was told he had to drive, he had to get licensed to drive, and then told that if you don't drive, you lose your job. Yeah. But we were also talking about the education lottery money. Where that at? Yeah, that's what's going on with that money. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I've been asking for years.
Do we get any of that?
How many of you have vacancies in your building? There was a budget created for those positions. Where's that money? Because the sub doesn't get paid the insurance or the benefits or the retirement. So where's that money?
Yeah, we got some from the technology coordinators at the high schools when.
Ladies,
They're budgeted for.
I value everyone's opinion, and I have not heard from this side of the room. Are there other opinions that you want to share?
So we talked about next step, just kind of piggybacking off what they said about the bulletin newsletter to let our other 400 and something members know. There's not, if we do the bulletin and newsletters, then it kind of, if it was me, it kind of makes me not want to come to the meeting, because if you're going to tell me what's going on, then I don't need to be here. I can kind of read what's going on. But what about, like NCAE isn't just about educators. So what if we get some things out in the community, like community service, to get our faces out there, to make people want to join, to make our other members see the value in being part of this? Because I'm going to be honest, I'm on year 14, and this is year 2 that I've been NCAE. I didn't see the point in joining NCAE, and it wasn't that anybody came and talked to me, but I guess the words just weren't there. I was like, I don't need it. But now that I get a little further up, I understand that everybody needs a voice. So I might not need it, but somebody may need my voice for them. Like we were talking about with the classified workers, so just talking about maybe we could do a little bit more to make people desire to be involved, using social media as that platform, since that's what everybody's on and stuff. But
All right.
And right now, we only have, on the ECPS career opportunities, we're only looking for 2 bus drivers in Edgecombe County. And we all know that two drivers are not enough for this county. I didn't look to see what the pay was. It's probably 15.
That's
Because
$2,000 now. That's
They ain't got to worry about nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, I thank you. I hope I got around to everybody getting your feedback. Now I'm going to go sit down. I believe Marcia will come back again, and we'll see where she stops.
Can I throw one more stake in the fire? I know people that are working at more than one school doing this, that, and the other, and were promised by contract to receive, travel reimbursement. No, you're not getting it, and has not gotten it for about 2 years.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Thank you for bringing that up. That was
Perfect
segue.
segue.
Great. You just answered it before I said it. You just answered it before I said it, because we want to know what's winnable, right? Like it's a group of us that meet constantly. Our leadership team, the executive board, we meet, we talk, we discuss things that we hear, right? Our building team leads, we work with them to see what we hear. But that's what we want to know. What sounds winnable? What can we use? What can help us to agitate and to move towards that meet and confer, right? Those are the stories. Those are the things that we need to hear, because those are the issues that we can assess to see what's deeply felt. Is it deeply or is it widely, right? Like, is it impacting one school? Is it a campaign we need to do at a school? Or is it something that's across the district and we need to do across the district? So there are 2 things that we're looking at right now. One of them being a classified campaign, and that is that dual role. One job should be enough campaign, right? Looking at things like the custodian, pay discrepancies, looking at, like you talk, talking about with these dual roles, and they're asking you to work games, be at games, stay at games. They're asking you to do all of these things that are outside of your contracted hours. We stay for meetings and things like that, but there are some extra things that we're doing, right? And also looking at the custodians. I've been hearing some talk about a 4-week versus a 5-week, where they get paid for 160 hours. but they're for 4 weeks, 40 hours, 4 weeks, but then they're asked to work that 5th week, and it's included in their pay. I don't have all the details on that, but don't that sound a little fishy? So anyway.
No, but if it's an hourly position, why is it not the hours? Okay.
So we don't have time to discuss it. We don't have, listen. I promise y'all, this is why we're having this meeting, because again, I will go to bat for anybody, especially when fair is not fair or right is not right. Wrong is wrong. I will stand with you, I will talk with you, I will speak on your behalf if you need me to. But I can't do this alone. Right? I can't stand and talk about classified because I'm not a classified worker. Right? So we need to know which of these things that we want to talk about, right? We got the classified campaign. We also have an issue with financial transparency. That stuff that came out together this year where they said, oh, we took out some insurance, didn't take out all of your insurance. If it's a system that's doing that, what happened? Right? How can you come to me? Because I'm going to tell you, my check was messed up with that. And then the next month when they said they were going to take out double, the money they took out didn't add up to be what they needed to take out. Right. So right now, I still owe somebody for some insurance because they didn't take out enough. Right? I've been there. Last December, the day we got out for Christmas, my check was $978 short. I called HR. You know what they told me? Oh, that's the summer premium. Right? I said, well, if I'm paying $970 a month, from now to the summer, I don't want no insurance. They sent me back an email in all caps. You need to reach out to the benefits if you got an issue with how much you pay. Okay. Let's just say by 4 o'clock they did write me a check, handwritten, because they did the formula wrong. How many folks are we doing wrong with transparency? So I reached out to the board and I asked them about, this like things that's going on in finance, right? Public record stuff. If you fight me, I will fight you back. I'm not playing, Caleb. I'm not playing.
And then she'd have balled up her fist and
I'm gonna fight him back. He knows I'm gonna fight him back. No. But that type of stuff, like those stories, I don't know about them, right? We have to know about them, and we have to see what's widely felt, deeply felt, so that we know what should be the next for Edgecombe, right? And so that's what we have, like 2 minutes just to discuss. What do you think would get more, 430 some members is what we have right now, because we lost some from retirement, we lost some that left the district, so we did lose some folks. Oh, there he is. He think I'm playing. He's biting my shirt, not me. He's smart. That's because I didn't say my And so that's what we want to talk about, just like for 2 minutes. What are you hearing in your building? What do you know of? Stories like you just said. Because I know I ain't the only person that get child reimbursement. I didn't even know they did it. That's why
Well, I'll start with one from a building that I visit, one of the Rocky Mountain schools, Fairview Elementary. Y'all know they came over in what we like to call the merger. And they were made a lot of promises across the board. There were curriculum promises that were made. There were promises made to classified staff about having to drive the bus. And several of them were told by leadership at Edgecombe that they would not be required to drive the bus because that wasn't a requirement that Nash had on them. And so they came over into Edgecombe, stayed in their building, they would not have that requirement. Last year, at the beginning of the year, they were told that they were okay for the year, but that was all they could guarantee. And now many of them are being made to drive. In particular, there is a cafeteria worker, Miss Helen, who has never driven a car. And is being told that she has to get a CDL and drive the bus.
But she can't even give a shit.
She doesn't drive. She's never driven.
Now, I will say, she needs to use the same, like she needs to use Mr. Dancy as an example, because he doesn't drive either, and they tried to make him do that years and years and years ago.
Go ahead.
He still works for us. He doesn't have to drive a bus. He rides a bike to school every day. So
what is the conversation?
Yeah, Miss Heather don't even have that conversation.
together. Like, just for example, who decides that? Does the principal decide?
I don't know what
No, so that is the district's policy. The district's policy, if you're a classified worker, that you have to have that CDL.
Who's the person in charge that comes down and says that? I mean, who is the mouthpiece?
That is the policy the board has created.
What person is the mouthpiece that's representing that policy that comes down and actually sees?
What do you mean?
I mean, who is the representative person that actually comes down and does the mouthpiece?
So, and when they're doing the application, like for instance, I
want to know, okay, we know.
Whose policy is it?
It's the board. That's the board. That is a district policy.
You know what I mean?
That's a board policy.
I mean, there's always a peon. They send down to go down and talk to spread the news.
No. It's not any news.
I know.
So
but
what are they saying
that?
that?
Is the principal tell them that the board, that the transportation says that they got to drive?
It's in your interview. In your interview and it's on your application.
It's HR. It's John
Yes,
Confer.
it's HR.
He's going to come down and let you know, like,
John
what's in your,
Confer?
yeah, Confer.
Yes.
This is what's in your.
But
contract.
that is stated in interviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then you.
So when we interview for a teacher assistant, I've said in interviews, that is the last question we have said. One of the requirements of this position is that you drive a bus, you obtain your CDL.
I don't know who the person.
Well, the first time ever, this is the first time it's ever happened since I've been driving. We had HR show up at our bus drivers meeting, and they have never done that before. And
I
they
heard
really
that.
stressed at the bus drivers meeting that they were required to drive. We've never had HR come to our bus driver meetings before.
I heard he's very involved in all aspects. That he is.
But he wasn't the one doing all the talking.
I heard that he's actually being very involved in all the HR, all the meetings with principals, and the principals doing interviews, and the principals are looking at
Mr. Conway.
That he's being very involved in all aspects of employment.
He's like that. He came in as an intern last year for HR. He's over Archer for
They
HR.
promoted him to over HR.
He came in as he's a retired, and he came in as a part-time because they didn't have anybody, but now he's.
But do they realize? I mean, if they are
Hold on. I want to hear everybody's conversation. I'm sorry.
Last comment right here.
Go ahead. I wanted to hear your conversation.
What they don't realize is if you force a person to drive a bus who does not drive a vehicle, they are suffering or can suffer the consequences of insurance and a lawsuit to the state if that person has some type of a massive accident, have a medical incident, because an insurance company right now, if I were to get a license, 64 years old, never having driven, and now I'm driving a bus, their insurance is going to go up what it would cost them to hire another bus driver. Because you don't get those types of licenses without some type of experience. She has no experience.
None.
Right.
So in the interest of time, you guys do still have sticky notes on your tables. If you have an idea about either the classified campaign, the dual role, one job is enough, or about thinking about attacking financial transparency, accountability with our finance department, jot down any ideas you have. I have some already listed from folks who've come up and given them to us. And just at the end of the meeting, come and stick it wherever it should go so that we can keep track of it. And take these back to your building, talk to your coworkers about it, and see how they're feeling about these two different issues. Or if there's something else they want to include. Mr. Short.
All right. Now, speaking of next steps after leaving the space, make sure we take this conversation that we're having back to our schools. Okay? We've got the meet and confer timeline and process that we've been talking about, progress. You know, some of us did meet with the school board chair about a month. I think it was about a month and a half ago. Right about, yeah. So we met with her, and she wants to bring it up for a vote for the board. So we already know she's on our side, Dr. Wilson. You know, because she's like, it's all about the kids, and she's always been pro union. So you know, she's a definite strong yes. But the thing is, we got to get the folks on board. And the folks stop stalling like Ann Kent, you know.
Yeah.
You know, saying, oh, yeah, I'll help you. And then acting brand new over summer, you know, just stuff like that, you know. And then deciding to tell us that we cannot serve the staff the very beginning of the year. If y'all remember last year, NCAE did serve breakfast at the opening convocation. Everybody remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They said, no, you can't do that.
And Monday before,
yeah,
they sent me an email.
That's the kind of stuff they always do, stuff like that. They tried to pull some similar stuff in Durham. Anyway, we're here to get their butts in gear. That's what we're here for, okay? So, those folks are stalling, and the reason that they're doing all these things and trying to move the goalposts, you want to know the real reason why? Because they're scared. We got them back on their heels. They know we mean business. They know we ain't playing, right? Because people never change rules if they're no threat, right? They're like, okay, these folks are gonna do whatever the heck we say. We can make them stand on their head, and they realize that we're not going to stand on their head if they try to tell us to do that. So we had the October 8th school board meeting. We were able to block them from trying to vote on something that pushed through. You know how the government does stuff like that? It says, oh no, you know what? We're not going to fund the ACA. They're trying to do the same basic daggone thing. So yeah, sorry. Okay. So then we got the additional action campaign, dual roles. One job should be enough. Why should you be made to do a couple different jobs? My TA was nervous as crap about that because she doesn't. I mean, she has test anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. So campaign, financial transparency, accountability, and then pulling on coworkers about what's the issue that's most important to them. What agitates your coworkers? What is the thing that they wish they could change about school? Do they have a problem with pay? Do they have a problem with dual roles? Do they have a problem with, paperwork? Just different things. Payroll. What's important to them? So that's what we want to do. We want to all do that at all of our schools, okay? All right, so every person present, and our charge is between now and December meeting. I want all of you to commit to signing up at least one new member. Even if you're not a member, we would love to see you get somebody anyway, because that shows you're here for the kids, for us, you know what I'm saying? So, and we're all here for the kids, are we not?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, next person.
Thank you, Mr. Troy. And finally, our closers, representing the home camp.
All right. This was the bottomless part, but I'm filling in for her. Couple reminders. If you're attending the Board of Education meeting, we're having it on Pearl Street tonight.
412.
At
412 Pearl Street, yeah.
412
Right.
Pearl Street, okay. And if you have the desire to do public comments, meaning you would like to go up to the podium, say something to the board, it can be anything range from some of the things we've talked about in here, something about pay, classified and certified workers, anything of that nature, you're allowed to say it. But remember, you will have a 3-minute gap to say that. I'll give you about 3 minutes to say what you want to say. I'll be doing public comment. I have my speech right there. Thank you. Thank you for my speech. And last thing, please don't have Miss Johnson yell at me. Clean up any trash you see. And yeah, and thank you for coming out tonight.
That's right.
Let me see how much. I'm gonna try. We already saw this wrong.
What you got? You got something in you.
Everywhere we go,
Everywhere we go,
people want to know. People want to know who we are. So we tell. We are the union. We are the union. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. Fighting for justice, and for liberation. We are the union. Mighty, mighty union. Mighty, mighty union. Mighty, mighty union.
I got one more too. Is that okay?
Sure.
Make sure you signed in if you haven't signed in. And for those of you who are not giving public comment, you can come and cheer on your folks who are giving public comment.
Yeah,
Because there's about 4 or 5 of us that will be speaking to the board tonight, and we would love to have you behind us. I promise you it's not like the June 2nd rally. They do public comment at the beginning of the meeting. So once the meeting starts, they go over their agenda, they say their agenda, then they have public comment. So you don't have to stay there all night. Once we get public comment, show up, then, you know, it'll be over. So you can support us. Mr. Troy gonna give us a chant to lead us out the door. You ready?
All right, this is one I will learn this weekend, okay? Repeat after me. Here you go. Workers want power.
Workers want power.
Organize the South. Workers want power.
Workers want power.
Organize the South.
Organize the South.
Okay, here we go.
He's so sweet.